Hello, welcome back to the Swan RBS. If you don't know what I'm doing, go back and watch the first episode and then you'll be up to speed. But I'm at the stage now of building some kind of release gate that will go just in front of the egg hole to release the balls as they are required to come out of the swan. As the balls go down, they'll end up in the nest at the bottom where the arriving ball will set off the next ball to be released. Sounds more complicated than it actually is. But I'm going to do some soldering, some brazing. I've got some tubes and little tubes and big tubes, and basically I'm going to fabricate up a kind of hinge ball release mechanism for this Kinetic Art rolling ball sculpture, the Swan one. So stay tuned, enjoy, and we'll see you at the end. So the ball gate works really well. It lifts up and down and lets one ball out at a time, just with vertical movement. So I now need to make the pivoting piece of track that goes here and drops the balls into the nest, and this end of the seesaw will lift the pusher up and down that operates the ball gate. So it's quite complex. I've got to get it all exactly right for it to work, but that's the next part of this project. So I've had a little bit of a rethink up here and I've remade this. I've got a nice stronger bar that is attached to the top of the lever arm, and it's got a little hook on the end here to stop it moving in any direction. And I've got a little more simpler stopper here which can be bent forwards and up and down using this point here. So as the lever goes up and down, it looks like that. And now if I load it up with balls and operate the lever, then you can see just how the two systems work. This one stops the first ball coming out, this one stops the second ball coming out. The next thing to work out is exactly where I want the pivot point. So I'm playing with different heights on here and different positions left to right on the seesaw, and I've got to get the full height moving. So I've got a stopper here, which is the height at the top, and a stopper here, which is the height at the bottom, and this is the full movement that I want. And I think I'm about right. I think I've got the position somewhere handy with height and length, so yeah, I might just go for that. Okay, let's explain how this works. So I've got axle holders on the left and right, and this is my axle piece which goes through the middle. I've made it modular so that everything can be taken apart if it needs to be cleaned or improved. So this goes inside here, and then the axle goes all the way through and comes out the other side. Now the axle is a tiny bit longer than the combination of these three things here. Then I've got a bit of threaded rod with a nut on this end, and the threaded rod goes through the axle and out the other side, and then I put a washer and another nut on that side and tighten these up really tight. And even though the rod is tight to the center axle, this will never be clamped fully by the nut and washer system, so it should all remain in place. If I've got it wrong, I can just make new ones of these and make them taller. If I've got anything else wrong, I can probably take it apart and modify it as well. The idea of this being a small rod inside a big tube is, as this swings, this piece here moves in an arc, and I just wanted a little bit of flexibility around the whole thing. So the idea is that the ball obviously lands at this end and releases the next ball up from there. So there we go, the seesaw is complete. Join me again next episode when it will be time to connect everything together. So I will have the balls coming out of the egg hole, I'll make all the track that goes down and makes the balls land onto the seesaw. Thank you very much for watching. I've really enjoyed doing this episode once again. Thanks for all your comments, and I will see you next time. Cheers. Bye.